All right, I made it before 6:30. All right, now let's go ahead and start recording.
Sometimes it's
upload to Dropbox. Oh, I don't want to do that. No. I want to. Dashboard. I know I can record from here. I think it just records it as a matter of course.
Yeah, YouTube does.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Live stream.
So I'm good. Stream health is good. Jitsi meat.
Yeah, I don't tell people get all of these videos live with their cell phone camera because it thinks it's slow.
All right. I believe I've set the live stream, and we've got, and I'm assuming recording is enabled. Google's always recording anything anyway, so.
Sometimes, yeah.
I mean, that's just
request it from minutes.
Yeah, said before. The NSA could have solved all their problems just by saying, "Hey, we got all your baby pictures, forever and ever. If you ever want them, just send us requests. We got them." Okay, so this is Terraform. Can you all hear me? I don't feel like I'm talking to the ether.
The mics are muted.
Oh, the mics are muted. Your mics are muted.
Mics are muted.
All right, I'm just going to keep on going.
I can hear you, Ben.
Okay, awesome. Is that Jace?
Jace can hear you, Ben.
Okay, good.
And Robert doesn't care.
Okay, so luckily enough, we have another Terraform user for a little bit in the room. In the name of Brad Stencil.
I'm just getting started. So
he's just getting started.
You're the expert.
Right. We're both just getting started, but I can talk. I can talk the talk. I can't really walk the walk that well. But so I'm gonna go right into the presentation. That I should probably. Sorry, I gotta. Dope. Get back here. All right, I gotta. Gotta share. Share your screen. I think that's it. Yeah. All right. Awesome. All right. Enough of that. All right. I just wrote down a few notes about what I want to talk about. The slide deck's not important. It's just a memory aid. So let's talk about Terraform. What is Terraform? Terraform is a provisioning tool, much in the way of Chef or Puppet or SaltStack or Ansible, and that's its primary focus. You can use it for some configuration, but that's not its main role. So the way to use it properly would be to use Terraform to do all the provisioning of your VMs and anything else that talks to an API, and then once that's done, then you can use Ansible or Kubernetes to manage. Ansible would configure your servers, and Kubernetes would manage your containers. Terraform is a way to avoid vendor lock-in. So if you go into Amazon Web Services or AWS from here on out, you'll be presented with a very confusing website with just a billion options, and it's very hard to get used to all that. And it's fine if you're only going to use AWS for all your shopping, but there's like 200 other services out there, and why be locked into one provider that's just going to keep? Well, I mean, I was going to say
even then, like after you use it for a year or two, you're going to realize, oh, I want to start using the API, and you can use their what's called cloud formation, but you're better off avoiding vendor lock-in and going with Terraform.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was Brad there. So it's a great way to avoid vendor lock-in because Terraform is your central point of contact for talking to all the cloud services that you want to talk to, and not just cloud services. If you got a Postgres database in your on-prem or on-premises environment, then it's got an API, and Terraform can talk to it. Anything that's a service out there that has an API is Terraform can talk to. And here, let's.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I think you made a good analogy with like Ansible and it's got an API you can talk to. I think of it slightly differently. I think of Terraform as setting up your virtual infrastructure. So if you want to have like, okay, here's my setup. I'm going to have a load balancer. I'm going to run some web app. And I'm going to run 3 web servers behind it. I'm going to set up my virtual private cloud, and these are my ingress and egress rules. I want to have these are my firewall rules. You can set up all of that. So you can literally basically have a Terraform state file that sets up an entire environment that is basically turnkey. And then from there, you can actually use Ansible or Chef or Puppet or something else to configure the internal workings or deploy something like Kubernetes to deploy. But it can actually help you set up the infrastructure itself, including ingress and egress rules and setting up keys, users. I mean, that in and of itself is huge.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, you can use Terraform to define all these providers that you're talking to: AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Engine, the Postgres database we were talking about. Anything that's got an API is what Terraform can talk to, and so you can just use that as your central point of contact for defining your whole infrastructure, all 20 of your VMs or all 100 of your VMs, the networking, everything that goes along with that. And I just got what happened to him? Oops. Okay, I was trying to show you my providers. And how do I stop that? Come on. Stop. Oh, there we go. Okay. Providers. Let's just go with the entire screen. Hello. Okay, so are y'all still hearing me? Or did we get cut off?
Jace can hear you.
Okay, all right. So here's the Terraform is a product is an open source product from HashiCorp, and which is awesome. So you can basically use it to do everything, and it's free of charge. But once you get into it, you're gonna want some extra features, if some enterprise features, and that's how HashiCorp makes their money, providing some enterprise features that can actually allow you to version your entire infrastructure. So you can just define all this stuff, all these VMs, all these networking, all these firewall rules, and everything. Your whole entire infrastructure can be versioned as version 1, and then from there, you can go ahead and update all your machines and say that is going to be version 2 of your infrastructure, and then try to go to it. And and then once you go to that version 2, you run all your smoke tests, and if they don't work, then you just revert back to version 1. And that's a huge enterprise feature that most organizations don't have. So anyway, I'm showing this screen right here to show all the providers that Terraform talks to. Okay, so here's the first half. There's 33 there. Cloudflare, CloudStack, OpenStack, Status Cake, MySQL, everything you've ever heard of. One-on-one hosting, Yandex, Oracle Public Cloud, and this is just 99 providers right here. Terraform actually talks to over 200 plus providers, and just about anything you need to bake in your cake is out there, and it can talk to. So, just wanted to show that and show the power of being able to talk to everything with APIs. I think it's the right way to go. All right, so let's go back to.
I'm looking for an awesome link I'm going to give you before.
Okay. All right. Oh, here we go. All right. Y'all seeing the slide deck now again? Hopefully.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, the speed of light to Greenville is getting slower and slower. All right.
The Wi-Fi here.
Yeah, and it is. So Terraform is infrastructure as a service. Jay's talked about this probably a year ago, and I'm sure he was using Salt at the time. Might have thrown in some bits about Ansible, but yeah, it's basically your infrastructure is code, and it sits in one giant. It can fit in one giant config file if that's all you want.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that. But but it could.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just say put everything in one config file and say Terraform apply, and it'll go and provision everything exactly as you did it. Now look at that last bullet there. I put that one up because Terraform will do. It's just a stupid computer, and it will do exactly what you tell it to do. And not 2 days ago, I destroyed my entire private cloud on Amazon by doing the wrong thing, and everything was just gone. I mean, all my login credentials, everything. I had to go back in as a root user, and my private cloud isn't anything.
Oh.
Anyways, it's just example demos and stuff. But I had to go back in as the Amazon root user and tell Amazon that my IAM account was part of admin, and then I was able to execute Terraform again and fix everything in 10 minutes. So it's kind of the good part and bad part about Terraform. So yeah. So it's not a GUI, but that means it's scriptable and predictable, and that's what we love as Linux admins. So Terraform competes with Chef and Puppet and Salt and Ansible in different ways. Salt used to be more of a configuration tool than a provisioning tool, but Clemson uses it to provision stuff all the time, so it really does kind of compete with Terraform a bit. And I know the Lyft company that just went public last week was able to go public because they got everything in their infrastructure configured with Salt in a masterless way. Their dev teams operate just as if they write it, they got to run it, and they run it with Salt. So it does all the configuration and everything without having any Salt masters. Ansible is a great configuration tool created by Red Hat to manage current configurations, and in that way you can use Terraform as a provisioning tool and use Ansible as the configuration tool, and so that's a good way to manage those. If your infrastructure is mainly run in containers, then you would run Terraform with Kubernetes to manage the containers. All right. Okay. That's all I want to say on that. Let's go back to the VM and see what the Terraform configuration file. Oh goodness gracious! How did my type get small? Plus? No.
Uses like Shift++ or something.
Shift++. Oh yeah, here we go. Hey. Thank you, Brad. All right. So here's one key part about Terraform. It only works on the directory that you're working in. It doesn't assume anything about anything above it or below it. It's just whatever is in this bin directory is all it's going to all it's going to execute. So let's go ahead and do lsshell. All right. So everything that's Terraform related will either have a .tf file or a .ts state. State is very important to Terraform. It's how it knows what your infrastructure looks like when you do a Terraform plan. The Terraform plan command, which basically tells Terraform everything you're about to do, and it's like a sanity check before you actually hit the go button. So if you're just working by yourself, then it's okay to leave this terraform.tf state file right in your directory here. So it gets all this stuff, that terraform.tf state file, from a command called terraform init. And you can run terraform init many times, so I'll just go ahead and run that and see if it blows anything up. It shouldn't. Okay, so it did. It told you the AWS version that we're working with, and says that it's been initialized. Let's see if it's changed anything. Nope, hasn't changed anything. I still got all my stuff. I just got a couple of JSON files in there just for GP. They're not really necessary. Now, if you're working on a team, then that Terraform state file is going to be a problem because the rest of the team can't see it, and you're not going to be able to work. So the thing to do there is to take this Terraform state file and change it into a Amazon S3 bucket or a Dynamo database, key value data store. And in one of these files, I'll just go ahead and cat the. Yeah, there it is. All right. So in this file, I'm defining a resource called Amazon Web Services Dynamo DB table. This is a specific type of object in Terraform that tells Terraform how to talk to this object. So you can't change this part right here, but this part right here is the actual name. So I'm just making this up. I'm calling it Terraform State Dynamo Table, and then I'm giving it a name, and I'm specifying the hash key name is lock ID. Just giving it a couple token capacities for read and write, and then the attributes for lock ID and the type. I don't know what the type S means. So do you know, Brad? This thing right here, type S.
I do not.
Okay. All right. Won't worry about it. We're just beginners. And we can, and there's also a tag that we give it, and the tag is just Terraform state consistency. Tags are powerful because they allow you to search for objects, like it's a relational database or something like that. So if I put my name on all of those, or Brad's name on them, then I could search for all the objects that Brad is associated with. Here's the resource, the AWS key pair. This can't change, but you give it a name of deployer and give the key name as deployer key. So deployer is the name of the resource, and deployer key is the key name, which Amazon requires. And then this public key is just, of course, the public half of the public-private key pair that you've generated on your laptop. And that's what allows you to be able to connect to the instance later. Let's see, what else?
I'm getting you some cool links as well.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just about done with my part. Oh yeah, all right. So this block right here, server-side encryption configuration, specifies the AES 256 algorithm that you want, which is very secure. And we're telling it to apply server-side encryption by default. So that's good. If you're working in some industries, you got to have all your data's got to be encrypted in transit and at rest, and so that covers that.
So I sent you an email, 2 of them actually.
All right.
The first one's got 3 links to videos. I would definitely recommend watching the first 2 later after all of this.
Yep.
It will basically show you kind of a progression of going through Terraform and starting out saying, oh, I'm going to put everything in one file. And then, okay, I need to decompose that file. And then all of the steps and problems you're going to run into. These first 2, evolving your infrastructure with Terraform, excellent.
Yep.
And then the second one, how to build reusable, composable, battle-tested Terraform modules, is actually from HashiCorp. And then I sent you one after that. There's a bunch of links. There's actually Terraform Git repos that are public.
Yep.
From a company called Cloud Posse. They seem to be pretty proficient in writing Terraform modules in a modular way, and then sharing it. Maybe click receive again or inbox. Let's see. So I just sent it a minute ago, but there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 that'll be coming through in just a second. That are GitHub modules. If you go to github.com/cloudposse.
Yeah.
Terraform AWS. Basically, it's a module that will help you set up your VPC or an IAM user and credentials and yada, yada, yada.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So UClog, I'll send those 5 links to your list because I know you're.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. it's kind of hard to read those here. All right. What? I have one other thing. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I wanted to actually run the commands and see what's going to happen. All right. Yeah. Here we go. So I'm working from Linux because, well, it's a Linux user group. But you can run Terraform from Windows or Mac just fine. So I'm in this directory and I've got these configuration files set up. And so now I just want to see, I don't want to run it. I just want to see what's going to happen. So to do that, I'd run Terraform plan and boom. Okay, so it's saying no changes, infrastructure is up to date. Let's go ahead and change something. Let's vi the example.tf file, and let's go ahead and change. Let's do something crazy and go from a. Goodness. Yeah, you kill me. All right. Is it T1 Nano? We're gonna try to go smaller and see what happens.
I think T2 Micro is the smallest.
I think there's a Nano.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, at the least, we'll see. We'll see what kind of barfs out of this.
How well does it handle typos?
Not very.
I'm gonna say.
Are you in a car?
I think
you want to pull over.
I think it's T1 Nano. So we'll go ahead and run Terraform plan again, and I think it's going to complain about it. Okay, they liked it.
Oh, wow.
All right, so now we've reviewed everything, and we're just going to run Terraform apply, and this is the destructive part. If you got some typos that misspell a server name or something, that VM is going to go bye-bye. So something to be aware of. All right, so on Terraform apply, it used to be that you had to run plan before you ran apply, but now it runs plan for you and says, well, I'm gonna do all these destructive actions and rebuild your environment for you. So do you really want to do this? And that's when you have to type yes right here and enter a value. And it says only yes will be accepted to approve. And you say, okay, go ahead. And it's modifying the instance type from T2 micro to T1 nano. Still modifying. I think the nano has only like 500 megabytes of memory. The micro has 1 megabyte of memory and like 8 gigs of disk, I think. Oh, got an error. Oh, it didn't catch it. See that? It says invalid value T1 nano. Let's switch that. It's T2 nano. Terraform apply again. If this doesn't work, I'm just going to go back and change it from US East to West or something. Oh, look, it worked. Yeah. So 0 added, 1 changed, and 0 destroyed. So it's talking about how many resources. Yeah, there it is. Resources right there. So everything's a resource, and that's the way it deals with it. So you could be dealing with as many providers as you want, and Terraform will just do it. So if you wanted to switch your VMs from Amazon because they're too expensive to Google Cloud, you could do that, and not worry too much about decommissioning stuff on AWS. All right, so that's about all I got. Anybody have any questions, or is anybody using Terraform in their environment right now? Light speed longer.
The electrons are getting tired. It takes them longer to get there. They'll get there eventually.
So okay, I think I might have lost you. Maybe not. Let's see what Jissy's saying.
Ben, I just want to be clear. It's not configuration management. It's just provisioning, right?
Mainly provisioning. It can do some configuration, but you want to use the best tool for the job. That's why I mentioned Ansible or Kubernetes for managing the little kindergartners, and use Terraform for the big stuff.
Yeah, you generally want to use Terraform for provisioning, and obviously put your state file in some sort of Git repository. That way, it can be the kind of the source of truth for the organization, for your network architecture and anything you're running, and any rules. And then Ansible can do some provisioning too, but you want to use it for its main purpose of configuration management or whatever your configuration management tool of choice is.
Yeah, Chef, Puppet, Salt. In your case, Jace, I'm not sure it would be worth it for an organization like Clemson to switch from Salt to Terraform, because Salt's already doing, all the provisioning and configuring that you guys need. So it's probably a tough sell over there, but it's nice to play with on the side in your little Amazon world. Amazon will give you a free T2 micro instance, and free forever. So that's nice, because you can, it'll run all month long and not go generate any charges on your credit card. But they will ask you to give a credit card number.
I think it's for the first year. I think after that.
Really?
Yeah.
No, the training I just received says it's free forever.
Well, that's good. That's changed then. Let me tell you. I'm sure
was the first bill a big one?
Nah.
With passwords,
Yeah. Just start expanding out after that.
But Amazon charges for everything. They charge for key pairs. They could charge for the data going back and forth. They charge for the storage.
Yes, they do.
Everything. So you can quickly get locked into Amazon and be like, oh man, I got to deal with this website the whole time. So yeah.
I would say long term, the win with this from a business standpoint, from like going and selling, like, hey, I need to be spending some time learning Terraform and implementing the setup, would be, it does not lock you into the vendor. So AWS does get expensive pretty quickly. Now, grant you have to go back to your Terraform state files, and there's obviously a different setup for each provider that you're working with. But there's plenty of videos and tutorials out there of how you can set it up in a modular way, as modular as possible, to where you can quickly switch to like Google Cloud if they're 30% lower. So if you can come in and say, hey, Google will give us a 30% discount over what our entire IT spend, infrastructure spend, assuming you're running a bunch of servers and the like, then that could be a big savings.
So if you're seeing my YouTube page here, I'm going to show you the immutable infrastructure video that really kind of set the hook for me. This guy right here.
Deploy something like called Apache.
Oh yeah. All right, so that's the CTO of the company, HashiCorp, Armand Dadgar, and I'm sure I'm butchering that name. But this is a great video right here, and it's absolutely why you want to get away from updating servers on the fly, and just versioning your infrastructure and saying, here, this version right here is what we want. We put a stamp on it and call it version 1, and then if you change anything, if you do any updates of security or anything, then no, it's not going to work. So you got to use Terraform to move to the next version of your infrastructure and do all your smoke
Hey,
testing.
Ben?
Yeah.
Does this also work on bare metal, or is this just for like cloud services?
Great question. I was investigating that the other day because I had the same question, and it wasn't initially designed for bare metal, but they have now hooked up with a project called Digital Rebar. And Digital Rebar is the project that tries to provision bare metal for you. And the company that Digital Rebar works with is called Packet. so Packet has figured out a way to provide bare metal machines, and I don't think they're actually providing bare metal machines. Like they got 100 gnomes in the back. Oh, we got a quest for another bare metal server. Hook up all the cables. No, I think Packet has figured out a way to present hardware as if it looks just like hardware with the everything that you would expect with a server. Another separate little operating system that can operate separate from the main operating system. All that. And so Digital Rebar and Terraform and Packet have gotten together so that you can actually provision bare metal with Packet that way. And that was just like a 5 or 10 minute search on that. But that's what I found out. So search on Packet, search on Digital Rebar, and that you got to get a lot closer to a better answer than I just gave you. Oh yeah, RackN is also another service provider that deals with Terraform and bare metal provisioning. So they figured it out too. It's Packet and RackN that have Terraform. Yeah. Oh shoot. Come on now. Hold on. Terraform bare metal provision with Digital Rebar provision version 3.2 setup.
This is Rob Hirschfeld, and welcome to the prequel for our Terraform deck.
Yeah, so they run through that whole video and they say that they figured it out and here's how you do it. And it's so popular that nobody's commented on it yet. It's really kind of, bleeding edge stuff. So, your mileage is going to vary. But they say they figured it out. What else? These are all the videos that my kids watch. I don't let them have their own YouTube accounts because that would be there'd be a mushroom cloud over Blossom Street if I did that. Any other questions from Andy's house? Nope. Okay. Well, that's all I have. I guess you guys got your own business you want to take care of, so that's all we got, Jace. So we'll sign out unless you got anything else.
Thank you, Ben.
All right. Thanks, Jace. Talk to y'all later. Bye. All right. Stop live stream. Oh, Jesse. Stop live stream. Yes.
You use Windows for